Eric Carle is a very famous children's illustrator and author. He has created over 70 books, and he has a very unique way of drawing and illustrating all of his books. He creates almost like a paper mache that his books are very easy to identify. I have enjoyed every book of his that I have ever read. I have enjoyed sharing them with my daycare kids and also now with my own children, and Eric Carle's books are some of my own children's favorite books. Eric Carle was born in New York in 1929. He lived there for 6 years, where then he moved to Germany. He eventually moved back to America in 1952 after he went to a famous art college in Germany. But, fun fact about Eric Carle, when he was still living in America, when he was 3 years old, he had taken a picture with a girl, an immigrant. He never knew who this girl was, so he ended up writing a story called Friends, which was a picture which he had drawn a replica of him and this girl, and he shared some details about the girl that he could remember, about what street they lived on and whatnot, and he was asking for people to help him find that girl. He ended up finding that woman, and they were married. When you ask him about it, when he is interviewed about it, he will tell you that it's not a biographical piece of information because it wasn't a true love, and they ended up getting divorced, and he is now remarried to his actual best friend and his love. But it's a very interesting fact that what are the chances of you finding that girl and ending up getting married to her? After he graduated from that art school in Germany, he decided to move back to America. He said that it was always his dream to go back to America because his best childhood memories were made while he lived in America. He joked that his actual dream was to become a bridge builder so that he could build a bridge that connected America and Germany, and he could take his grandma by the hand across the wide ocean. He ended up getting a job in New York at the New York Times, where he eventually became an art designer. He designed a picture of a red lobster, and it caught the eye of an author and educator named Bill Martin Jr. Mr. Martin asked Carle to illustrate a story that he had wrote, and this was actually what started Carle's career with books. He has since then wrote, like I mentioned before, over 70 books, illustrated or written 70 books. Some of my favorites include, my very favorite is The Very Hungry Caterpillar, as you can see in this video. Does a Kangaroo Have a Mother Too? This is my kids' favorite one. They love this one. Rooster's Off to See the World. And The Very Busy Spider. He's also wrote Brown Bear, What Do You See?, which is another one of my favorite. I just don't personally own that one, so I don't have that one on hand. These are a few of my works cited. And now I'm going to share with you, like I said, my favorite, which is The Very Hungry Caterpillar. This is The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. In the light of the moon, a little egg lay on a leaf. There's a little egg. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and popped out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar. It started to look for some food. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. On Thursday, he ate through 4 strawberries, but he was still hungry. On Friday, he ate through 5 oranges, but he was still hungry. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 ice cream cone, 1 pickle, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of salami, 1 lollipop, 1 piece of cherry pie, 1 sausage, 1 cupcake, and 1 slice of watermelon. That night, he had a stomach ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through 1 nice green leaf, and after that, he felt much better. Now he wasn't hungry anymore. Look how big he is. He's gotten huge. He wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, fat caterpillar. He built a small house called a cocoon around himself. He stayed inside for more than 2 weeks. Then he nibbled a hole in the cocoon and pushed his way out. And he was a beautiful butterfly. Another fun fact about this story is there's little holes. I don't know if you can tell really, but there's little holes in the book where it looks like the worm has ate through each of these fruit. And that idea came from he playfully punched a book one time and it poked a hole through the pages of the book. And he thought, what a good idea. What a grand idea to consider this a bookworm. He was a bookworm and it looked like a worm had ate through that book that he punched. So then him and his publishers went together and decided to make the very little caterpillar, the very hungry caterpillar. Great story. I have actually used this specific craft in my daycare, and the daycare kids all love it. So this is the craft that I would make after reading The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and it's coffee filters. And you just take the coffee filters, and I take a few little eyedroppers, and I gave each kid dyed water, and I let them drip colored water onto the coffee filter. Then you let it dry, and then you take a pipe cleaner and make that the body of the caterpillar. The kids all enjoy it. I think it's great for any age. You could get, if you were doing, I usually do preschoolers with my daycare, and so they're able to do their own little drips all over the place and make a big mess, but it's easy to clean up because it's just water. Or you could use older kids and explain to them that, butterflies' wings usually looks the same on both sides. So you could work with them on if you put a drop on the right side, you need to put that same drop on the left side and work on mirror imaging or something like that. But if you haven't heard of Eric Carle, you should definitely look into more of his work, and he is an awesome author to learn about.